So, hello, beautiful people. I guess you saw the title, so you know what's up. So we can start. The first is the typing, and we will do it. Start the clock, start the exercise. Try not. Oh, damn it. I made a typo already. What did I want? Disable the mouse. Gee. Okay, I did something. There will be a lot of errors, and that was something I. What? 2% and 38 words per minute. That's massive. That's much better than I thought it would be. So I take it. Of course I do. Oh, no, I don't want to upgrade. I wanted the next lesson. Yeah. Okay, this is. Well, maybe I can do it in those minutes. Let's see. Alright, I went through that pretty quick. The errors are 4%, that's good as well, and 38 VPM. I was doing above 40, but my minimum was 30, and I did not do this for some time, so hopefully that is okay. Of course, the idea is to get better, but the only thing I can do is to stick to my practice and then see if the results come, right? So, that was our typing. We are way over the 5 minutes. And today we will randomly pick what we will be doing. Let's execute program, that's so funny. Okay, I wanted to do it anyway. Execute program. I'm laughing because I was just picking up the execute program because I wanted to do it. I see this like it's $19 per month, that's what I'm paying. So the idea is complete everything, but they are putting in more and more lessons. So maybe I'm here stuck forever, who knows? And we have three options: TypeScript, JavaScript, and SQL. And we will pick as well wheel of names. Yeah, sure. Wheel of names. And it is JavaScript, SQL, TypeScript. Just yeah. Okay, let's do it. Go. And hopefully that will not rip out my ears as last time. And that's what? That's TypeScript, okay. Okay, good. So let's do the TypeScript then. We'll continue. And we have a review coming up. Okay, let's do that. It's time for a review, blah 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 blah. I can type error, syntax error, a few examples through exceptions. Exceptions just write error. Okay, so this is a review for the type, which was the index scripture, index, what it was, what was the name of it? Index something, index, index signature is the name of it. Okay, so we have the type, and there's a user type string number, and here's the field, and that is a string. This is okay, but though this and this should be the same type, so this I think will not work and will error out right here, and because we define the type, it is a type error. And I'm correct, hooray for me. Another thing, we have usernames, type signature, index signature, and we have email, that's a string, out of string. We defined the object usernames of this type, and our key is mirror, and the value is this. What does it say? The index signature says that every key in the object maps to a string, but that's not true. Accessing missing keys gives us undefined. This code is wrong, but fortunately it's load. Okay, so email is a string and username is Betty. Betty is not there, so we will get undefined. It, what's the point if they are telling me in here? Sometimes I kind of feel that they kind of cut piece from a lesson, and that's everything they do. Kind of lazy, but let's call it MVP, and it probably will get improved in the future. That's what they do. They improve it all the time. Write index signature for an object that maps a person's name, a string, to a city, a string, or undefined. Okay, so cities will be, it is object, so that goes in here. Then we will have the index and then the value in there. So the key is name, if I remember correctly. Signature, person, maps person's name to a city. And the city is type of string, or we'll do space to be nice. It isn't undefined, like so. And that looks good to me, so let's press this and see if it's good for this thing. And oh damn it, I forgot to define the type for the name. Alright, and the type are computed property name in a type literal must refer to an expression whose type is literal type or a unique symbol type. Unique symbol? Okay, I don't know what the unique symbol means exactly. Never mind. String number, Amir number, good. Login counts. So we will have an object, and inside of it there's Amir, our friend, and there's a Betty, also our friend. We know each other since start of this tutorial. Now make a second chance to review items that you missed the first time. I take that, and now I will hopefully not forget to add everything, so it will be name, that is a string, and the output was string, I say string, or undefined, undefined. Okay, so we have the index with defined type, that's good. Then we have a string. Okay, I still did not get why do we have here this name. Okay, we'll continue. I'm correct. How good does this feel, you ask? It feels great, thank you for asking. So, logic operator narrowing or any. Let's do the first one, why not? Oh, holy crap, that's a long lesson. Alright, let's go. We need to write a function that returns the length of its array argument, but the array is undefined, it should return undefined. Okay. The first version below uses a regular if with conditional narrowing. The if side of the conditional, the type of string, is known to be undefined. In the else side is known to be string. Let's see. So undefined, yeah. When it's not undefined, I will return that. And they wrote the thing for me. I thought I will be writing it, but apparently no. So the input is either string, array of string array, or undefined. And the output is number or undefined. This is the name of the method. And then we go if strings, which is the input, is undefined, we will return undefined. Oh, they are not using semicolons at the end. Okay. Else return strings that length, and that is pretty okay. And we are calling it twice, so the result will be an array, and the first will be 2, second time undefined, like so. Bam, and I am correct. A shorter version of that function is below. It replaces the if with a short circuiting at end. Don't worry if this unfamiliar. We'll analyze it in detail after we've seen the example. The example below does the same thing as example above. Show me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it's undefined, it will return that thing, and yeah, I can understand that. So it's an array. There is a 2, and here it says undefined. Go. Good. We think as the end or ampersand as an operator that works on a Boolean values. But I know it already. If this is, it evaluates the left side first, and if this is false, it will not evaluate the right side. So if this is null or null false variable in JavaScript, at least this is a TypeScript, so it might be a little bit different. So undefined, null, false, it will return this thing. And but if this equals to true, or through t in JavaScript, uh, it will take the through t would be like any kind of number instead of a 0. Oh, wait a second. Is 0 here falsy? Well, that should not be possible because we put in strings or undefined in this case, right? But let's say we can put anything in there. Then we would do the strings, and now I'm digging a rabbit hole, and that might not be the point of this exercise, so I will just continue. True or false? So this is false. False. Bam. False, false is false. Bam. True, true is true. Bam. I know how it works. In JavaScript and TypeScript, ampersand works on more than just Boolean values. All of the following values act like false when used in logical operators like ampersand. Okay, there we go. 0 is okay. So false 0 0 and this is a big int which is a part of ECMAScript 2020. All right. So there's something coming. I did not even know that there's ECMAScript 2020 already because it's January. Well, now I do. Empty string is false as well, or false, evaluates the false. Undefined, null, and not a number. Not a number. Mm. All other values act like true. As usual, terms for this are truthy or falsy. 0 is falsy, 57 is truthy, understood. Returns the first falsy value it finds. If both values are truthy, then and ampersand returns the second value. That is interesting. Returns the first falsy value it finds. Why? And maybe it's nothing to figure out really. It's just it is like so. So everything true, it will return 2. Undefined is the first falsy value. 2 and false is the first falsy value. Null is the first falsy value. True and hello, both true, so it will return the last. Hello, false and true. False is the first falsy value. We can use these rules to create ters, ters, ters. Okay, ters conditional expressions like the one in the function we saw above. This one reads as add 1 to x unless x is null or undefined. Oh, I see. But it will just, it does not really add 1 to x, it just outputs x plus 1, and that is different because after this the x will be the same. So maybe you are not exactly on your wordings correct, but I have been wrong in the past, so let's check that again. Yes, this one reads as add 1 to x unless x is null or undefined. Okay, so this is it returns 3. This will return undefined. And now here's the array length function again. Now that we've seen how the ampersand trick works, why don't you let me write it by myself? At this moment, I went through all of these. I'm a big boy now, and I might be able to do it myself. But no, that's okay. So strings, undefined number, I saw that already. You showed me. So this will be, again, there's an array we are filling in. And the first is 2, because we put an array with 2 elements. The second one is undefined, that is okay. And oh, this part might be different. My bad, my bad. Oh, it's the same. Yeah, this is undefined. Oh, you know what? Repetitio mater studium est, which means repetition is mother of knowledge, so that's good. This ampersand trick works quite well and is common in both JavaScript and TypeScript. Oh, now I know. There's a similar trick for pipe, which is OR, but that requires a new motivating example. Okay, show me the example. We want a function that returns the number it's given, but if the number is undefined, it should return 1. Okay, so if it's undefined, return 1, else it returns that. Okay, so also array, the first will be 3 and the second one undefined. No, it will return 1, my mistake. But I correct myself, so maybe I learned something. Again, we can rewrite it to be shorter by using Boolean operators. This time we need pipe, which returns the first true t value it finds. First true t value it finds. Okay, so it will be return and pipe1. In both. How will I remember? How will I remember that the end returns the first falsy and the pipe up returns first truthy? How can I remember that? Sometimes it's quite useful for me to have some kind of mnemotechnique or something like that. It helps me to remember stuff, and right now nothing is coming to my head. Nothing. What I can remember is that uh, you I can remember that one of it acts kind of like uh, multiplication, and another one is like addition. Oh, and that goes like, let's say you have the multiplication, that would be the end, and the false is 0 here, right? So let's say, and I think I want to illustrate it in here in the text, so I will do this. So the end would be like the multiplication. Oh crap! This one, like multiplication, which means that you have numbers. The 0 is truthy, so 0 is falsy, and all others are truthy. And now let's say we have 1 times 1 times 2, that equals 3, and the 3 is truthy. And we can do 1 times 2 times 3 times 1 times 0, and this is 0, and that is falsy, right? We know that. So the end, this one would be equal to like 1, or I can think about it like equals 2, and end, and this is truthy, and this would be the false. Yeah, I will not substitute the star with the 2 ampersands in here, and the or can be viewed as is like plus, and that is oh crap. Oh crap. Okay, so how can I org mode? Can I turn it off? How can I turn off the org mode in here? Can I? I don't know how to do it right now, so I will use this symbol instead of that one. It's like plus symbol, so it would be like if you have zeros, plus 0 plus 0, that is equal to 0, and that is falsy. And then we have, if there will be some of them which will be truthy, we will get truthy, so it will be like 0 plus 1 plus 0, and this is 1, and that is truthy. It goes the same, like if we have this, that, 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 we get the same result. Okay, now is the question if this can help me somehow to If this can help me somehow to come up with some uh, thing that will help me remember it better. And I mean, it basically returns the first one when you know what the result is, right? And that will happen either if you get in the end, if you get a falsy value, then it will return that falsy thing. It might be true, one, I mean, it might be zero, null, undefined. So I guess the mnemotechnique would be it returns the value which determines the output, maybe. Kind of makes sense, but I'm not sure if that will help me to remember. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so then pi returns the second value. Let's go. So this one is the plus thing, so it will be one. Yep, undefined. So this will return two. This will return two. False null. So this will return null because we will know here. Oh well, yeah, it works somehow. Whether that was first true to you or the last. Might be better way to think about it. So this is a 5, and this is 5 or 2. So it will be 5. This is undefined, so it will be 2. Now 2. Now we'll use to write the shorter version of the number or 1. Okay, it returns this or that. Here we have two results in an array. This is a 3 and this is a 1, and go. These and are safer in TypeScript than in JavaScript. Oh really? Now I'm interested. Because the compiler can catch mistakes. For example, accidentally switching and for pipe will usually cause a type error, as it does for the incorrect code below. You can answer with type error, for example, like this. Okay, so we put in string array or undefined with name of strings. Then we return number or undefined and return string. So this will return if it is an array, it will return the array. But that is not defined type in here. And if this is undefined, it will length of undefined, which also does not make sense. So this will be a type error. It was not clear to me immediately, but when I started explaining it, kind of came to me. So this could be string when it's true. Now we know like this whole expression will be true. That's the plus, remember? And now we know this is true D, like if this like if it's true or whatever you get true. That's maybe a better way to think about it. The numbers might be confusing. The numbers might be confusing to me. It would be just the better way to remember it might be something about along those lines, and that would be uh, and and you know it's this guy, but oh, it works here, and returns the first value, the result is known, and we start from left. We start from left. This looks much nicer. So I can do. Oh, come on. Dun, 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 like so. That looks something I like. That looks like something I can remember. This is just complication. Maybe. It looks like it right now to me. Well, so this will return the type error. That's what we agreed on type error. Because if this is a string array, it will return the string array, but that is not defined as the return type. If it is undefined, it will return the length of undefined. That will also not fly. So type error is the correct answer in here. Stepping through what compiler sees will show us why the error happens. Okay. The strings type is strings or undefined. We are doing, yeah, that's still the logic. The right side strings like runs where strings is falsy. The only falsy value in strings is undefined, so strings must be undefined on the right side. But undefined has no length method, yeah, so we can't do strings length. Then string is undefined. TypeScript object says object is possibly undefined. Well, yes. At the same time, you pointed just one part of it, I think, in this tutorial, because if the strings is string array, we would be returning arrays of string, and that is not defined in here. So I see second reason why this maybe they will say it in here. This is another example of type narrowing, like we saw with if in an earlier lesson with if. The type was only narrowed inside the if, and inside the else if there is one. Here the type is only narrowed on one side of the pipe or. The idea is the same in both cases. TypeScript can tell that we've done something to exclude certain types, so narrows the type accordingly. Really. I'm not sure if I'm following this. This is another type narrowing. Yeah, but the if example was I had a if type equals type of this equals something, and then there was a body of the if, and in that body of the if, it would be guaranteed the type, and in the else, we would be guaranteeing it's not the first type, than the one we detected in the if. So yeah, in that sense, I understand that the type is defined only in the first one, like in the if. Here the type is only narrowed on one side of the pipe. The idea is the same in both cases. TypeScript can tell that we've done something to exclude certain types. Sure, so here we excluded what? We excluded string array, so it must be undefined in here, or it must be string array in here, so we will return string array. I guess so, I guess that's what they are saying. If this is truly, it must be this type. That is the way I would read it. If it feels difficult to step through this reasoning, don't worry. It's difficult for anyone to think through these tiny logical details without making a mistake, but that's why static type checkers like TypeScript exist. Well, everything is difficult on the first time, isn't it? The TypeScript compiler is very good at this kind of reasoning. With some practice, most type errors in the and or will be obvious to you quickly. In rare cases, there will be some kind of more subtle problem to solve, and you'll have to think through the types step by step, like we did above. So that's exactly what we want to happen. If we can't see the problem immediately, that usually means the type system has found a subtle mistake. Subtle mistake? What do you mean subtle mistake? The ternary operator, Alzenauer's types again. We'll start with a clunky example. Go. So here we have some function. It takes n, which is a number or a number array, and we will be returning a number. So if it is array, the n, we will return its length, else we will return just the number. So here we are filling in the array, and we are putting here that, so that will return 2 because that the length is 2, and here it will return the number. Now we write it with the ternary operator. Okay, so the ternary operator would be, I don't know, it will return n question mark. No, it will be type of n equals to array, or we can use this like array is array. That would be the correct way to do it, I think. So we will return array is array n question mark. If it is, so we will return n dot length, then the colon n. This would be how it write. Array is array. Yes, yes, and I was correct. How great I am. I'm super great. So 2, and this would be 5. It's just the same example. The ternary operator, the question mark colon, doesn't have any major pitfalls. It doesn't? Okay. It's just a shorter if. However, there's one big danger. Okay, danger using the and or in this way. It arises from the fact that zero and empty string are both false in JavaScript. That is the difference to this one. That can cause subtle bugs. What do you mean subtle bugs? Like, it either works or not, right? What do you mean subtle bugs? Well, get over it. That's not important, Stefan. Uh, with your and or or okay, ampersand and pipe tricks. There's one of the examples above. Just as we wrote it before, it seems to work. It seems. Yeah, it will not work, and I can tell you why. Because if you put a zero in it, you're screwed. Because it will return one instead. You know why? Because this guy in here, when it's zero, you know what happened? It will return one. Zero is a number, isn't it? So this will work as expected. So this would be the number, and here will be return the one. Now here's a bug. A trace through what happens. We pass zero in. I said it. Remember that zero acts like false. I said it in Boolean operators and conditional. I know it's really annoying when someone says I said it already. Okay, so this one will return one. That's wrong. Zero is a number. Yes, I know. It's very important, but not all the time people thought that zero is number. So maybe our JavaScript is back into the Stone Age, or even before, I don't know where they invented zero. So number or one, zero should return zero. Yes, indeed, I do agree. This is one of the many cases where JavaScript's design leaks through into TypeScript. Leaks through, well, TypeScript just like superset of the JavaScript, right? It compiles or transpiles, if you want to JavaScript. So, leaks. Well, let's keep the philosophy and continue in the lesson, shall we? In JavaScript, zero is falsing. Few people like that, but we can change it without breaking all existing JavaScript code. Okay. TypeScript has to be compatible with JavaScript, so TypeScript can't change it either. And is this where we should call it a legacy? Fortunately, tools can help us here. First, we can use linters. Linters. Well, I have a thought what it could be. What does it translate to? Nothing. Okay. It kind of makes your code nicer and finds like stuff you should not be putting in your repository, I think. Never mind. There are both a TSLint rule and TypeScript ESLint rule that prevent this entire class of mistakes. Oh, really? I want to see. Show me. This looks like link, and it is. And this looks like link, and it is. Rule. Strict Boolean expressions. Restricts the types allowed in Boolean expression. By default, only Booleans are allowed. Okay, so we cannot compare anything else but Booleans. That sounds good to me. And here are some options. And this is some config, and this is a schema. Alright, I don't know much about it, and I'll skip it. And this is something else. This is a repository of what is this a library of sorts? Following nodes are checked. Arguments to the not and or operators. Oh, the ternary operator or the conditional expression. Conditions if, for, while, and do while statements. And it does not allow anything else but Boolean. Requires that any Boolean expression is limited to true Booleans rather than casting another primitive to a Boolean at runtime. Okay, I understand it. So there are some tools. We highly recommend using a linter with TypeScript and enabling its strict Boolean expression rule. If you do that, the conditional narrowing inside of blah blah is quite safe. The linter rules also make regular if and ternary operator conditional safer for the same reason. Yeah, I read that. But I'm still grateful for you telling me. It's good to know. It's new to me. I will be doing an hour. Oh, whoa. I'm just doing the logical operator narrowing. I hope because of this, all of this talk, I will remember it so greatly. The second way that tools can help us is by introducing new operators for terse conditional. I forgot what the terse conditional are. Terse, we can use this to terse like, okay, so this is a terse expression and the or is terse expression as well. I guess. Letting us avoid using, and then TypeScript 3.7 did exactly that with a new question mark operator. We'll see that operator in a later session. Lesson, not session, lesson. Well, it's okay. Okay, I'll finish the session. And we are done. And we have 7 minutes to go to full hour, so let's do some typing to finish like in full hour. Full hour is nice. It sounds important, I don't know why. Like I did a full hour of learning. Full hour. It sounds better than, well, I was shy of a few minutes. Oh crap. None. You have no ancestors. He was not born. WC parent sounds funny as well. It sounds like toilet parents to me. Two FV1 FV2 XV1 XV2 cos V1. Oh, all right. What is the result? I have still 3 minutes to go. Are you kidding? Oh, holy moly! This is awesome. This is really good. This is really good. But also, it could be because there's like not so many special characters. But I'm still pretty happy about it. And 38 BPM. Hey, take it. I do take it. Uh, you see, and that's why. Because now I probably will not get it. I probably will not be able to talk and write at the same time, but I can try. It is kind of more difficult, I would say, and I'm really struggling. uh, and maybe I will do even more mistakes. Uh, it is kind of difficult to do that, but maybe it can be trained. Who knows? I mean, talking and writing at the same time. I'm not sure if that is a good idea. Uh, Maybe I will be just more distracted, and even now I'm talking slower and maybe even writing slower, so maybe better use of time uh, would be to do those things separately. Now I don't even know what I'm typing, and focusing is much harder on it. I believe right now I did much more mistakes, and I also want to continue until oh, I see until say until and I write until as well. Uh, then ink. That is just hard to kind of speak and write at the same time. Maybe if you are like uh, so great at typing, like master in the universe kind of guy, you would be able to type and write at the same time. I think I saw this girl, uh, which she is a proponent of what is like discarding uh, keyboards, and she's like the stenograph. Alright, and she, I think, might be able to write at the same time, but maybe she's just able to use use this, like the pauses, which I have as well. But I spend much more time because sometimes when I read it and it's kind of stored in my head, I'm able to kind of write it without much of mistake, I think. Uh, or maybe not. Where's O? Uh, yeah, this is horrible results. But it seems to like she was able to actually like pull something out. There's a video of her kind of casually talking, but she's speaking. Now I'm realizing she's talking, uh, and she's writing the same thing. So that might be better. That might be something else. Like typing one thing and uh, and and uh, typing one thing and speaking about something else might be much more difficult. Uh, yeah, so now when I was not speaking, it was on that one line, I was much more faster. Uh, yeah, but I cannot speak like properly. Like it's like my mind is kind of dark, and that I just cannot process more. Uh, so this is funny experiment, and I'm suspicious that the result will be horrible, like much more worse. And it is, it is, it is, it is. I wonder if this is something trainable, something like you can train to do over time to speak fluently on one topic and writing something else. That sounds like a superpower to me right now. Anyway, we are way over the hour, which is way over our original time limit. It was like 30 minutes. But it's a good practice, and I tried something new, which is good as well. So we are definitely done, and done is better than perfect. And I usually use it to kind of propose that you should do at least something that because when it's something's perfect, like idea, like execution of something, and it lives only in your head, and you don't allow yourself to start trying to do anything because it will be not perfect, uh, then the done thing, which might not be perfect or probably will not be perfect, is much more valuable than the perfect thing you have just in your head. That's the message. That's the thing I mean by saying done is better than perfect. Yeah. And that's it for today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.